So I want to first start and just focus on the home share program. Very similar to a venture capitalist, they're buying equity in a startup, predicting that the startup will increase in value later on. You're doing the same with these homes. Now, what is the relationship between Nada, you and Nada, and the owners of the homes? Is it more of a partnership? Is it a different type of relationship? Can you go more into that relationship and why that homeowner would want to cash in on their equity now?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So the easiest way to think of that relationship between NADA and homeowner is that it is most like a mortgage originator it has with a homeowner. In this case, a homeowner is looking for some way to access equity to cash out their equity. That's their motivation. They've got their reasons. In most cases, it's brought to us because they're investing in a home improvement. They're investing in adding solar, as you said earlier. These are the common things because a partner of ours, just to give you this entry point, would say, hey, I sell solar, and that's my job. I'm talking to the homeowner. I sell solar. Did you know you can actually pay for this solar installation and equipment using your home equity? And then that's how a customer or homeowner would come to NOD and say, okay, I'm interested in this type of financing. And then we have a call center licensed mortgage loan officers actually that offer this product. So you walk them through it. We do qualifications, et cetera. But that's the relationship. So we're the asset originator. And then once it's closed and funded and they've received their cash, we are also the servicing entity. We have some partners that help us, but in the event they have questions or we see something that gets off on their mortgage payments, et cetera, we're still with them. So they maintain a relationship with us.
And then for the home share program, is this any type of real estate? Is it residential or just commercial? Who are you targeting for the home share program?
Yeah, it's only residential, only.
So if you were to walk me through one of these type of deals, what are the terms on a deal? Let's just say I have a home, I have $1 million home, I have 800,000 in equity, and I want 100,000 in cash. What are the what are the terms that you're going to get in that type of deal?
So just like you can imagine with any financial product, there's qualifying nuances to what we're going to price it out at. But I'll give you kind of the vanilla scenario here. A typical no issue owner occupied home. The first thing we're going to do is say, okay, what's the appraised value of the home? You said it was $1 million, and without any risk factors, we're going to say, okay, we're going to consider that at a 90% of, or said differently, a 10% discount to that value. That's how we get some downside protection if we're looking to place an investment. So we actually say, and it'd be negotiated, that, hey, we're presuming, because it could go down, et cetera, that your home is actually worth $900,000.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is you want to sell a piece of your equity. You said your debt outstanding was $800,000. So in this case, you have $100,000 per our agreed calculation of equity. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when we come in and say we would never give you all of that. That's too much risk. But I'm going to walk you through the math. Let's just presume that this scenario would work. Say you went at 50,000. Mm-hmm. Okay. So 50,000. So we just bought $50,000 of your equity, which is your value above, your debt. And so in exchange, you're going to give us a lien secured interest to 50% of your home's future value above its current agreed rate. So that way it's very specific in that it's the future value. So it can only be equity based on appreciation. It has no consideration to you paying down your mortgage, which could be adverse. So we're not going to hurt you because you pay down your mortgage. You may, get excited and just say, I'm going to pay the whole thing off. That doesn't affect our stake.
Right. Okay. So it's almost creating a separate equity stake that's doesn't necessarily have to do with any sort of future debt obligations that you had already had with the bank. You're creating a separate equity stake that is purely based on the future value of the home.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense because the first time when I saw Nada, my mind immediately went to platforms like Fundrise or Yield Street, which are platforms that are taking more commercial assets or taking together residential assets and basing it on rental income and things like that. But Nada is completely different in a sense. So you mentioned 5 different platforms that are really doing what you're doing.